Hey, what do you know? This is the Melbourne Live Show, and this is going to change. I assure you. I assure you, because I've been just reading up and finding out more for myself in terms of how I could do up the lighting a little bit better, and so you know, it's one piece at a time, right? First is the camera, then it's the microphone, which took me quite a while. And then now it's the lighting. I need to deal with that lighting itself. So tomorrow we're gonna get something fixed. In any case, welcome to the Melvin Live Show. And in case you're wondering, what do we talk about on this show itself? Well, a few things. Number one, it's the show. Essentially, it's focused on one thing. And the one thing that I'm focusing on is how you can go about building this 1%, 1 million all digital business. And the premise behind that is essentially is that in the past, when you think about building this 1%, 1 million business, it's probably quite daunting because you would probably be only able to do this after your regular 9 to 5. And to have that kind of leverage is really, really tough. But in today's context, and especially now that just about everyone it's moving online, and everyone is more comfortable about dealing with and transacting via the online space. I think the time is absolutely right for the picking, and it would be a pity if you kind of miss this wave itself. So I would say the best time to start this business is right now. And so, as I, for me, I have kind of started on this journey since 2015, and when it was in 2015 itself, the whole focus was just to put in place the fundamentals, and the fundamentals include really gearing up in terms of what I can do and sharpening my skills. Right now, the whole premise behind this is that I want to make sure that this whole thing is able to scale to the next level, and that's what I am currently doing. All right, so let's get into today's topic itself. Today, I want to talk about worrying. All right, and to kind of give you a bit of a backstory, I used to be a worrier. Now, not a warrior, but a worrier. So I'm someone who, arguably by my wife's standard, worry too much. And my defense has always been the following. I say that, well, I worry because I think about all the worst case scenarios that could possibly happen. And with that itself, I then decide that what I can do. And so the worrying part actually allows me to visualize the less than ideal situation that could be impending. And due to that lack of positive outcome, future state itself, I really was able to think about how to plan. So, I used to tell my wife that I am a worrier. And the reason why I am a worrier is because I would visualize all this negative or less than positive outcome that could potentially happen. And based on those outcome itself, I then work backwards to identify what are the causes of action that would allow me to prevent or address some of these issues when it appears. And for a while, that strategy seemed to work. However, later on, what happened was that I got drawn into this worrying trap, and all this negative and limiting thought started to consume me. And so it triggered and it spiraled downwards into a level whereby I was have to cope with depression and anxiety. And what that led me to do was I decided that in 2019 I wanted to seek professional help, and that was when I embarked on my journey itself. And thank the Lord that I went on this journey, because had I not have gone on this journey itself, 2020 might have just completely ruined me. Because in 2019 everything was going so well, and I was on track to make my six figures in 2020. And so everything was in place, and I was just ready to go and all optimistic and positive about what's going to happen. And then COVID struck. That's one thing. And then the other thing was that I ended up having to deal with a legal case with one of my clients who refused to pay. And that resulted in me taking them to court. And so, as a result of that, this whole scenario itself, plus the fact that we were all locked in, and of course, the lack of social interaction with other people other than our immediate family members, had in fact resulted in some level of dissonance, within me. And so it's beginning to show to a certain extent, and plus the fact that the outlook, it's really, really uncertain. I mean, I was just reading the World Economic Forum article this evening, and it was saying that, look, we have to admit that no one has the answers. And I agree. I mean, in the past, things were still predictable to a certain degree. However, right now, everything else, it's really, really a huge question mark. I mean, we probably don't even know what's going to happen in the next 6 months, let alone the next 1 year. And so, this whole scenario, this whole backdrop that is surrounding us, has resulted in many people starting to feel a level of anxiety and starting to worry about what the future might bring. And that is perfectly normal, because as human being, as responsible human being, as responsible parent, as responsible spouse, as responsible child, we want to make sure that we are able to provide for our family. And by providing for our family means that we are able to generate the income necessary to at least maintain or support a particular lifestyle, or at least to be able to meet some of the basic needs required to keep the household going. And when that level of uncertainty is kind of taken away, like for many people, the possibility of them losing the jobs in the next 3 to 6 months, it's probably really high. And the possibility of them, even if they do not lose the job, to see a reduction in terms of their salary is probably also very high. And so when we are faced with that situation itself, that level of certainty, it's kind of taken away. And once that is taken away, of course, that leads to a series of anxiety and concern. And that is perfectly fine. Like I said, in the current context of things, it is natural that as individuals who are responsible for not just yourself, but your household and the people that you work with, this is crucial. However, do not allow this whole scenario to kind of envelop you, because once you allow that to happen, the thoughts and the limiting beliefs will start crippling you and stopping you from making progress. So worrying is good because it allows you to think about what are the possible ways that you could do right now while you still have the energy, resources, and opportunities still available. For example, I've been telling people right now is the best time to start a one person, one business or digital business. What you need is the right mental model, the right business model, as well as the right revenue model. Once you have that, this thing is unstoppable. And you can, in a sense, be confident that the next 10 years, for example, you're going to be fine. Now, the thing is, why is it good for us? Now, why is it good for us? And this is where I want to come to. And I want to be, on the onset itself, I want to state this right because it could have been seen out of context. And so, what I mean by this is as follows. Right now, everyone is to a certain degree concerned about their livelihood. That is fine and that is perfectly good. Why? Because it is only when people are uncomfortable that is when they will start thinking about making changes, making improvements. Without that level of stirring things up, you wouldn't be able to, for the most part, most people would not be motivated enough to do something about it. But now that we have this scenario, now that we have this situation whereby people will be all stirred up, and so it is ripe, it is good that people are all stirred up, they're concerned, and they are looking to do something about it. So for this group of people, I would say that there are probably three segments of them. So the first segment of the people, it's they are all stirred up and they know exactly what they're doing and they know exactly what they do. And that's what they're going to be doing, right? So that's that group that are already on that journey itself. They already know what they're supposed to do in a situation like this, and they are already doing it. So, for example, people like myself, I already know what I should be working for, and I'm already started to doing. Now, then there is a second category of people that they have been all stirred up and they kind of know what to do, but they're not too sure. And so this is where they would like to get some kind of advice. They want to get some kind of direction, mentoring, coaching to kind of help them find the path. And then, of course, you have the third group that are, they probably belong to that group that will never move, but they are that group that want to learn more, want to find out more. They want to consume more, but something within them just isn't quite getting them to move. And so the people that we want to look at, of course, the first group would be people who are already stir up and they want to do something, but they do not know what to do. That would be the first group of people. Because with this group of people, all you need to do is to demonstrate to them what they can do and how they can get there. They will be on board. Now, then there is the third segment of people who are, they're all stirred up, but they just do not think that they're going to be ready. And so this is where they need more education, they need more information, they need more rationalization, whether it's logical or otherwise, to be able to help them get started. And these are the group of people that you would want to put at the top of the funnel. So why is it good for you? Because now, never before have we seen a group of people who are all stirred up and ready to embrace this next level itself. And so for the next few days, what I'll be sharing with you would be some of the insights that I've gained from the personal development industry and what are some of the trends and some of the aspect that you are able to leverage your expertise and how you are able to create products or services to be able to reach this group and get a share of the pie yourself. Right. And so if that is something that you are keen, make sure you subscribe to the channel because this is where I'm going to go deep into the process itself. I'm going to share with you the statistics. I'm going to share with you the whole premise of how I came about with this whole discovery and what I'm going to do next. And so with that itself, I thank you so much for watching. If you got a question, make sure you feel free to leave your question in the comments, whether it's a question about lighting, camera, or sound, let me know. If there's something that I can help you with, I would, right? And if you like to, you can schedule a 45-minute discovery call with me, and I will walk you through what are some of the things that you can do if you're looking to build this 1% 1 million or digital business. And finally, if you found this video to be helpful, make sure you hit the like button. And I'll see you tomorrow where we will talk about where this whole industry is going and how you can get a piece of it. And with that, I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.